So much good music.
Yes, sir. Um, I'm interested to see how you feel about this one, cause I ain't gonna cap to you. This artist is somebody who I've seen a couple of freestyles here and there, and then I saw the album dropped, and I was like, we gonna review it. Threw that in the group chat. Hadn't heard a song. Hadn't heard not one song off the album, and I was like, we gonna review this. So, Symba, results take time. First impression, what you think?
You know, I like how you prefaced how most people have been getting how most people have gotten to know Simba, and that's through a lot of the freestyles that he did. I remember his first freestyle that I jumped onto was with the LA Leakers. When he jumped onto that freestyle, that was brazy. Just the confidence and his eloquence, it really stands out. It really stands out. You can tell this is somebody that has put in so much of that work into his craft, which is why results take time is just so fitting of a title. Sometimes you see people that are getting their shine, and it's very clear that they've had to do so much to earn that type of shine. And thinking about what you want your record to look like when you have that shine on you, I think results takes time is a very that's a very good way to be able to continue that interest in your craft.
Yeah, this for me was a very interesting project from a sonic perspective. Um, I don't want to say it sounds dated, but it sounds like it could have came out 10 years ago and been hot. It works now. Could have came out 20 years ago, been hot. You know what I mean? It's got a timelessness that goes backwards that I hope goes forwards, if that makes sense. Um, and it was also interesting for me for the first time kind of listening to an album that's definitely a come up story, definitely a an introduction if not a reintroduction, and feeling like kind of like, oh, you know what I mean, like he's on the come up. And there was the I'm so much, as from a kid in my relationship with hip hop, I'm so used to listening to this type of come up music and hungry music from such a hungry young place that this was one of the first times that I'm listening to an album and hearing that hunger, and it feels younger than me, but I'm still able to appreciate it. I don't know if you got that vibe.
Definitely hustle music, it's definitely hustle music, and it is come up music. I think what Simba has done well is be able to take on a lot of his influences with reference to Nip, with the reference to Ross, with reference to, a lot of the legends that come out of the Bay Area where he's from. Just completely, being being respected by many circles. Simba's been respected by many circles. So it's just one of those cases in hip hop where the algorithm of be talented, work hard on your craft, and when you have your time, you'll be ready for your time. And it definitely sounds like that. Funny enough, speaking about reminiscent of music we would listen to when we were younger, this is another Gangsta Grills tape by DJ Drama, which we saw. Tyler the Creator's album was a Gangsta Grills tape. The J. Cole album was a Gangsta Grills tape. Clearly, this is something that is Drama's making a pretty big comeback. Almost felt a little bit like the Meek Mill Dream Chaser series is the vibe and energy I got off of this album.
100%. 100%. Drama adds something that is so uniquely hip hop. Although he was talking some wild stuff on this one, man. I don't know who asked DJ Drama if he writes his shit talking, but there are no dumb questions. But come on, man. I never got the impression that it was written. But
What if he has a ghostwriter?
that would be hilarious. That would be hip hop Hall of Fame fact worthy for sure. If somebody was writing down, we the best to ever do it. Yo, say this.
say this. Give you eyes.
DJ Drama with flashcards in the behind the boards is crazy, son. But
4 words at a time.
yo, punching in yo, that's nuts. Nah, but it definitely lends both an authenticity to this project, but also like just like a true hip hop feel. So getting like actually into the music, my man starts off, comes out swinging overnight, high energy. It's a good one to hook people into the album. Never Change with Roddy Rich, another artist we've had some conversations about on this podcast. We'll see where his trajectory goes. And then Never End Up Broke. I think that first three was a super solid three to bust out the gate with. The album lulls a little bit for me in the middle and comes back strong at the end. But I think throughout, he's picking good beats. He's using samples. He used his budget immaculately for this project. I think it comes together super hard.
I'm inclined to agree with you, brother. I think the first three they come out swinging. Never End Up Broke was a single that I dropped recently. So it really is a great start. Like you say, it does take a bit of an experimental softer side towards a few of the other tracks, which I'm not all the way there with yet. But that No Sleep pop out and how he closes the album out is pretty dope. I think Symba is really, really talented and has great content and great perspective as a rapper. It will be very interesting to see him put together. It will be interesting to see where he goes with the content that he's putting out. Just considering that the peers that the peers that he's up against, these are dudes that are very romantic, but also very vulnerable and really have a very good way of playing with their romanticizing their trauma. So that we're talking about Rashad, we're talking about Buggy, we're talking about who else do we want to be able to put on that list? Jid off of his last album. We're speaking about Reason. These are all dudes that play with the romantic elements of vulnerability and trauma. So it's going to be interesting to see how Symba applies that, shifting gear like Meek instead of being the dude that can only be boxed into this sort of music, but can then compete with his adversaries.
Man, and I think any album that can elevate you into that conversation is a win, right? So shout out to Symba, man. This is a really dope project. And it's like I said, the way that he uses samples, the way that it's produced, even gives it a very clean feeling. The songs that you like, I think, are gonna sound good 2 or 3 years from now. So yeah, man, this shout out to him. I'm excited to see what he does next. My brother's been putting me on to that Jesse Reyes. I'm gonna go run that. I'm gonna rinse that for sure. What else do the people need to know about, man?
There's so much good music out, man. So much good music. ESTG, I Never Felt None. Spectacular. Pink Sifu and Real Bad Man is really dope. Jesse Reyes album is out. So much good music. Ari Lennox came out. Green Tea Peng. Oh my goodness, it is a overwhelming amount of good music, bro. That's what I've been on. What you listening to?
Man, I've been stuck in some of the albums. Been trying to spend some time with some of the albums we've reviewed recently. Going back to that JID, going back to that Joey Badass. Man, that Mac Hami that came out a couple weeks ago. So I'm in that mode, just waiting on this Freddie.
Waiting on the Freddie. And something else that other people are waiting on is when we get together in Chicago in a few weeks and get into our studio space and keep delivering all sorts of new contents to the people. Shout out to everybody that's been rocking us for this far, is because we know.
Oh yeah, we know. We've been cooking up just for y'all because we know y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all choose to rock with us, joining us on this Sunday. We thank you for being in conversation with us, for rocking with us through technical difficulties, and as we try and react to the world and figure all this stuff out in real time. Man, shout out to our producer who joins and facilitates and makes possible this celebration of celebrating, the celebration of life, the celebration of how good it feels to be black. Don't it feel good, way?
It's one of my favorite things.
Yes, sir. And we hope it feel good to be you in whatever skin you in. Be good to yourself, man. Eat something delicious. Hug somebody you love. Watch some Dragons tonight. Let's get it.
Yeah, I get that. But is we live, though? Is we, like, all the